Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Ann Reardon and today I'm going to be making a cake for you in virtual reality. Now, I filmed a virtual reality in the mini kitchen the other day and some people loved it and asked for more and other people hated it. Some people apparently didn't know how it worked. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to record this video twice, once not in VR, so I'll link you to that one if you don't like VR, and also explain to you how to use it. Most people are having trouble on their phones, so if you're on your phone you can either tilt your phone to see everything or put your finger on the screen and move it so you can see what's side to side. One person said that the whole video was facing the floor and that they were really sad because they couldn't see anything and my camera was too low, which I thought was hilarious. Do you really think I would film an entire video and edit it facing the floor and then upload it to YouTube? You can see everything, you just need to move around. Someone else in the comments said, why don't you have something like juggling in VR? That would be cool, because I can't juggle, so I can't learn to juggle that fast, so I thought, why not get a juggler? Whoa!
Whoa!
This is Hazel. Hazel, can you juggle?
I can juggle pretty good.
There we go. We're going to have juggling in VR. How cool is that? Someone else asked for something that I'm not going to tell you because I want it to be a surprise, but I've arranged it for you, and someone else asked, can we have Matt in the video? So here we go. Hey, Matt, Hazel, this is Matt. Matt,
G'day.
What's in your box over there?
It's a secret. You'll have to watch me to find out.
I thought I'd trick him and he'd tell you what was in there. So Matt wants you to watch him over there to see what surprises are in his box. Hazel wants you to watch her juggling over there, and I want you to watch me making a cake in the middle. So this is like a feast for your eyes in VR, or not VR if you're watching it in normal. So let's get started. So first of all, what I'm making here is it is going to be an Andy Bodie style cake. If you don't know him, he's a pastry chef from Sydney and he does these huge, elaborate, filled cakes. So first of all, you're going to need some of my rich chocolate cake, and I have pre-baked it for today. If you watch the non-VR version, it'll have all the instructions that you need for that. Place a circle of cake right down the bottom. Here I've just got a metal cake ring and some acetate, and you'll see we need the acetate in a minute. Then what you want to do, get a spoon and bend it like this, it just makes it easier. Ask your mum first if it's not your spoon so you don't ruin one of her good spoons. And get some milk. This is just normal everyday milk, and put 3 spoons onto your cake. That's just going to keep it nice and moist, especially on a hot day like today because it is very hot. Next, I've got some salted caramel, which is delicious and homemade, so I can show you the recipe for that one on the other video. Just want to let that just ooze over the cake, thinking, is there some on everybody's slice? You don't want it all on one slice, so if it is, just spread it out a bit there. That's some salted caramel. And then you want some chocolate coated biscuit crumb. So this is a firm crumb that you bake in the oven and then you coat it with chocolate. The reason you coat it with chocolate is otherwise, when we add our mousse, which is what we're doing next, the mousse would make the crumb go soggy. And we want the crumb to give us a nice crunch when we're eating our cake. We don't want it to be soggy. So I want you to add 2.5 cups of your mousse in between each layer. So this is a nice rich chocolate mousse that I've pre-prepared for today, but on the other video I'll show you how to make that if that's what you want to know. And then you just add your next layer of cake. Now you'll see here this layer of cake is in 2 pieces. So when you are making it with your trays, use your cake ring to cut the circles. If you don't have quite enough cake to make a full circle, that's fine, just cut another little piece to complete the circle and just put it together. Nobody is going to know when the cake is sliced that that was made up of 2 pieces put together. Then add some more chocolate crumb, that's right, over the top. It is so hot in here today. Whew, sweating. I'm sure Hazel must be very hot. Okay, then grab some more of the salted caramel. Look at that, just oozing down there. Doesn't that look amazing? Spread it out over the cake so that everybody gets some on their slice. Whoop! See, she's just trying to get your attention. That's cheating, Hazel. And then on top of that, of course, some mousse. So we want to keep layering it up like that all the way up to the top. So another 1.5, so you've got 2.5 cups of mousse in that layer, and then another layer of cake. So we're going to have 4 layers of cake all together. So I'll put this little piece in first, and then we're going to go with the next one. You can see now why we needed that acetate, because it's getting so high. If we just had the cake ring, we would be in trouble right now. There we go, piecing those 2 together. A little bit of milk to keep the cake moist. This is a very moist chocolate cake recipe anyway, so it doesn't need much in the way of moisture. You could use simple syrup, but it's quite a sweet cake, so you don't really need to add heaps more sugar to it. Add on your chocolate coated crumb over the top here, and then some salted caramel. I'd love to know in the comments, who are you watching right now? Are you watching the salted caramel oozing all the way down, or are you watching Hazel juggling, or are you watching Matthew to see what's inside his box? If you know what's inside his box, don't write that in the comments, because someone who's just started watching the video won't know, and you'll give it away. All right, so then we need another 2.5 cups of mousse. So that's 1. That's 2.5. Here we go. And a half. And now we are going to add on another layer of cake on top of that. There, like that. That's looking good, isn't it? Now we'll add a little bit more milk. So it's just layering it up. Each layer is the same, and it's just meaning that we have a nice, tall, impressive looking cake. Add some more chocolate crumb on top. What are you doing over there, Matthew?
I'm about to show them the surprise.
Oh, what is in there? I want to know too, but I'm going to keep filling this up. Here we go. More caramel on top. That's looking good. And now more mousse on top of that. That's 1. So this mousse is basically made to make it. You just whip up some egg yolks and some sugar. And then once you've done that, you need to heat up some milk and some cream, whip it all together. And then once that's cooled, you add gelatin, then you let that cool, and then you fold in some whipped cream on top of that. Let me just wash my hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this one in the fridge, and I'm going to grab one that I prepared earlier, because we need to let that set and then we decorate it. Obviously today it is stinking hot here in Melbourne, so I need to put it in the fridge to let it set, and I'll grab the other one out and I'll show you how to decorate it, how to pile it up. So just watch these 2 for a minute while I do that. It's heavy, it's a big cake. Clear myself some room first. You can put that leftover mousse in the fridge. You can put that in a prettier bowl and you can eat that later. That's nice mousse. Get rid of these ones, we don't need them now. The other cake out of the fridge. That, and I'll get out what we need to decorate this with. So I've got some chocolate crumb here. That just looks like it's the same as one that wasn't coated in chocolate, but it is just baked cookie crumb. So it's nice and crisp in the oven. I've also got the scraps from when we cut out the circles of cake from our tray cake. You'll end up with scraps from the side. Don't eat them, we need those scraps of cake. And then lastly, I have here some Italian meringue. If you don't know how to make Italian meringue, I've got a video especially on that, but I'll show you in the non-VR version of this video as well how to make that. It's basically like a cooked meringue that's already cooked so you can eat it just like that. So the eggs are all cooked in there and we can add it to our cake and eat it. So I'll just pop that one there for now. First things first, we need to peel the acetate off the outside. I'll do that. Yum! Look at that chocolate mousse and salted caramel. That looks good. Okay, where am I going to put this? Let's put it over there. Okay, here we go. Add the cake on top in the middle. So the cake scraps are going to help add some height in the middle here. I can see Matthew's surprise all around the room. Are there any more, Matt?
There are.
Could you hold one on your hand?
No, they just kept on flying away from me. They mustn't like me.
Ah, very fast. See if you can get one to sit on your hand. I'd love to see that. Okay, so cake scraps all the way up the top. Hazel, have any landed on your face yet?
Not yet. I am keeping watch.
And then we'll put some crumbs on each side. There, like that. That's looking good. And there, and we'll put a couple of crumbs just on the bottom here. There we go. Hazel's trying to get your attention again.
It was a butterfly.
Oh, it's a butterfly. I can see some. I hope some are flying behind me as well so you can see them, because I can see them flying in front of me. They are so cute. All right, now we're gonna add some Italian meringue over the top. So you can see how here, having that cake scrap in the middle is giving the height that you need for your cake. Generally, the taller something is, the more impressive it looks. So we'll just add some more Italian meringue there. It's best if you whip it with your beaters and you make it right before you use it. This has been made about 40 minutes ago because I was doing this little thing like setting up other cameras. I had other things to do. So if you make it fresh and use it just as soon as you've beaten it, it will look better. But this one still looks fine. There's no right or wrong as to how it looks on a cake. It's a pretty impressive cake. I'd be happy if someone gave this for my birthday. So that's your Italian meringue. We want to add a little bit more of our salted caramel, just to give a bit of a hint what's inside this cake. So we'll put a little bit of salted caramel just dripping on some of the edges there, just so you know we've got some salted caramel dripping down the sides. There we go. A little bit there as well. I'll add a little bit more over here. You can't even see that drip. Should make sure there's some at the front that you can actually see dripping down. Here we go. Now I actually want to toast this meringue. The little burner that I usually use to toast meringue is out of gas. So I'm going to have to use this big one, which I hate using, but anyway, we'll give it a go. Let's see if I can light it even. If I can turn it the right way. There we go. And then we just give it a gentle toast on the meringue. We don't want to toast the cake because it will melt. Look at that. That looks good. Woo! Turned it the wrong way. Tried to turn it off and I turned it up. There we go, that looks cool. Now we've got the toasted meringue on top. And then you just add some chunks of whatever chocolate bar you want into that meringue on top. A couple more. Now, as impressive as this cake is, I actually think what Hazel's doing is unbelievably amazing. How do you even learn to do that, Hazel?
Just lots and lots of practice.
Lots and lots of practice. Okay, everybody go get your mum's suitcase after this, or your dad's, or yours, and see if you can do that. That is very amazing. Okay, adding more flowers onto the cake. Now these are edible flowers. Very important you make sure the flowers you're putting on any cakes are edible, because you don't want to poison your guests, because that would be a disaster, quite obviously. All right, so we've got some edible flowers, we've got our chocolate, we've got our caramel drip, chocolate mousse, rich chocolate cake. How is that? I think that's a pretty impressive cake. So I'm going to slice it up so that we can all eat some. Let me just pop that there, move this out the way so I've got a bit more room to cut some slices for everyone. Move that one over there. Here we go. Nearly dropped the spoons on the floor. That would have been a disaster. Okay, let's slice. Which side should I go from? Gosh, such a tall cake. Oh, all the way down. Now those chocolate crumbs add crunch, but they also do make it a little bit hard to slice. So you might get a few little chocolate crumbs that are making it harder to slice there. Slice down here. Now these slices might be a bit big, but that's all right. I'm sure that Matt and Hazel won't complain if the slices are big. Do you want to slice too? You do? All right, let's see how we go here. Slicing, can we get the slice out? Make sure we get some Italian meringue. There we go. I'm going to lay it down so we don't kill it. There's a slice for you. And now let's cut a slice for Matt and Hazel. Big slices. You know what I can hear? Butterflies fluttering around everywhere. It is so cool. Whoop. And I'm dropping my serving thing. I think I'm just going to go with the knife. One for Matthew. Hey Matt.
Yeah.
Want some cake?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to come over and grab that one because I've got no table. Oh, you've got a butterfly in your hand.
I do have a butterfly on my
Hello,
hand.
little butterfly. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my goodness. I didn't think you'd be able to hold one on your hand for long.
I can't really eat it with it
With
on my
one hand.
Yeah.
No. Well, don't eat the butterfly.
I'm gonna put the butterfly right
On the table. Oh,
here.
it flew away.
Away.
Oh, that was so gorgeous. Just make sure we've got some meringue. Here we go. Hazel, would you like some cake?
Oh my goodness, Anne, that looks amazing.
It is very, very rich and very, very full. So if you want to make a multi-layered chocolate cake with mousse for your birthday party, I'm just going to wash my hands because they are covered in Italian meringue and sticky stuff, then that's how you do it. You make the cake first and then you layer it up with the mousse and all the components in between. And how does it taste? Taste alright?
It's so good.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for juggling. You are amazing, unbelievable. See, now this is why I didn't try and juggle myself. I can juggle with 2 balls and that would have been pretty boring, but Hazel was unbelievable. Thank you, Matthew, for the surprise in your box. How cool, little butterflies, and they're still flying everywhere. So this plant over here, if you're wondering what that weird plant is, that's the only plant that the monarch butterfly lays its eggs on. So that's why we have that there. That's called the swan plant. And hopefully we'll be able to keep some butterflies after this. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't like VR, you're probably not still watching, but there is a non-VR video which shows how to make each of the components of the cake with all the zoomed in stuff that you love to watch. And click there, click here, here, subscribe to How to Cook That for more videos. Make it a great week and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.